Okay, you guys wanted something. You wanted an update on the 21 Bronco Sport where the guy went off-roading. I got a new rim put on the front, new tire put on it, balanced everything, road forced it, new tire in the back, everything matched properly. I scrubbed the vehicle a little bit, but I don't want to get into it too much because some people don't like their vehicle going through the car wash, so I just washed off as much as I could. I got all like the front end debris and stuff where they had all the off-road matter and things like that. It was all packed on the front of it. I got all that cleaned out everything underneath it, cleaned out all the stuff that was jammed down in the brakes. This one road forced a little different. If you notice, the other tires had the red dot by the valve stem. The road force on this told me to spin it almost 180 degrees to get it down as low as possible. So I had to, that's why you see the mark on the tire there, and then I spun it to actually get the balance even more zoned into where it's supposed to be. I didn't see anything wrong with the suspension. I didn't find anything wrong underneath where it was bent or anything at all. You would expect the type of damage that was done to the rims for there to be some kind of suspension damage, but there wasn't. Going down the road, I noticed that the steering wheel, you know, if this is straight, it's like just a hair off. So I threw the idea out to the customer. I said, hey, look, we're waiting on a response. Do you want me to throw this thing on the alignment rack just to get a better idea, really zero in on it if anything's out of place? Because the steering wheel is just kicked just a hair sideways. And I could pull all that in for you completely, 100% if you want. And we don't have a response back, so I'm going to park it outside for right now. There's a recall on the front brake pads on some of these Broncos because the way they were put together from the factory, I think the recall is like 21C31. I don't know. It's brake pad contamination. And you just basically pull the old pads, clean everything off, put a new set of pads on. And I guess there was a little bit of oil or some kind of contamination on the brake pad surface where there's a certain amount of these that were sent from the factory. Those pads won't be in until tomorrow. Here's the old rims. There's actually a core deposit on these where they're all screwed up in multiple spots. This was the outer one where they sent it a little too hard, bud. This one here had the blowout on the inside. The rim, they drove it on the rim all the way around the outside and cracked the TPMS sensor. So these got to go back for cores. Yeah, but anyway, just wanted to share the update. Got her back together, no codes, no check engine lights, TPMS sensors and everything trained. That's another thing some people brought up as well is some guy was like, well, I just hit the flashers until it goes into tire pressure training mode. That might be tire pressure training mode, but there are certain modes that won't work for certain things. Like if I'm putting new TPMS sensors in, that hazard flashing thing you can reset tire pressure, but it may not let you train the sequence ID for the TPMS sensor. So that's why I used the key on 3 times and then brake, key on 3 times and then brake, key on 3 times and then brake, or push button start, same thing, push button start, on, on, brake, on, off, brake, whatever. It's 3 and then brake, 3 and then brake, and then it goes into TPMS training mode, and then you could train the sequence ID for everything. But that's the update for the 21 Bronco Sport. Got it back together, got new tires and stuff on it. $3,300 later. It's an expensive off-roading adventure, but it is what it is. It's fixed. Y'all be blessed.